NASCAR can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Good time zones, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pocono Raceway for round number 14 of the Racers Elite Premier NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series right here on the Racers Elite Network. I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth. Along beside me is my really good friend David Forch, and let me tell you what, we have 120 awesome heart-pounding laps coming straight for you from the Pocono Mountains today. These Cup drivers are at the Tricky Triangle. Let's go ahead and get down to it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, my name is Mike Taylor up here in the booth. David, we are at the Tricky Triangle, and let me tell you what, it is definitely very tricky for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the more unique tracks on the circuit, and it's, even though turn 1 and 2 technically turn 1 and 3 are the same. That tip, that'll get you. It's kind of a full throttle if you can nail it just right, but it's kind of a lift off, just a little bit off the throttle. Not a lot of room to move. A lot of drivers might think that they can make a move on the outside there, but it really thins out in a good, quick, in a hurry. So I'm expecting some exciting moments throughout the tip, and we're going to see a lot of almost IndyCar style drafting coming down the straightaways.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that we can anticipate for sure around this speedway. And while we are getting down to the nitty gritty, let's go ahead and, well, first off, let's update Trade and Paints. Let's go ahead and take a look here at your race information here for today. Again, we are here at the Tricky Triangle Pocono. This 2.51 mile speedway is absolutely wicked fast. Today it is partly cloudy with the air temperature of 72 degrees. Track temperature is only 101, so it's not going to be too slick out there today, with winds at just about 3 to 4 mile per hour west northwest. These guys do have 6 additional set of tires, 1 fast repair, 3 Green-White-Checkered attempts if they need it, and then their fuel limit is only set to 75.
Yeah, the only thing that we can expect to be calm is those winds. We might see some periods where drivers are a little bit more relaxed, but it just takes one moment to make a mistake, because this is just shy of the same length of Talladega that we just covered on Friday with Racers Elite. So this is a track where you have to apply brake. Talladega, you don't have to. It's full throttle. Everyone's able to fit where they want to fit. Here, it's not quite like that. You got one preferred line, and that's the inside. You can make the outside work, but it's really not a preferred line for a lot of drivers. As we see the number 85 of Brandon Honeycutt come around the track, he's getting it low. You can go a little bit lower if you wanted to there in turn 3. But you'll see a lot of drivers trying to cut those curbs. Those curbs do upset the car, but you can make it happen if you're careful with your throttle. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes a couple extra inches around the corner to make things happen and who doesn't. Like as he goes into turn number 1, he's hard on the brake, trying to ride it as close to that line, try to paint that line the best he can, hard up on the throttle on exit. Got to be careful because you can lose it.
Just
on
like
exit,
that.
just like that. It's really easy. This is one of the tracks that the banking doesn't really line up, so to speak. You're going on flat surface, and then you go into the corner. It's a heavy banking, not as heavy as Dega, but it is still pretty, crazy banking. And then as you come off the corner, it kind of goes over a hump. And then you come here into the tip. This can, like I said, you can do this full throttle. You can get it down to that curving if you're confident enough. But if you miss, you're not going to have a good time. I'm sorry, that's turn 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything looks the same when you're tired.
That is very, very true. And, we're going to go ahead and throw it away, and take a look here at our point standings for this series. Kirby Wainscott, he is currently on top of the leaderboard with 524 points. There it is. Mr. Very consistent so far thus far this season. He only leads his teammate Andrew Teft by 27 points here on the leaderboard for the standings, followed by his brother Alex Teft. So you got a pretty much Racers Elite, Chicken Coop Racing 1, 2, 3 here in your point standings, which is absolutely phenomenal. But we are getting ready now to head down trackside to get things fired away, ready to go. And let's go ahead and take a look here at your starting lineup for today's race. Starting on the pole in that number 45 machine is going to be Ryan Warp. To his outside, it's going to be Cody Benelli. Inside row number 2, you got Kensley Smith in that Monster Energy number 15 machine. To his outside, Kirby Wainscott. Inside row number 3, you got the 98 of Andrew Teft. To his outside, driving that number 16 machine, it's going to be Sam Lubers. Inside of row number 4, the number 18, I'm sorry, you confused me there. The 777 of David Davis and the 18 of Blake Vegan. Inside row number 5, the number 21, Robert Morris. He'll be joined by the 85 of Brandon Honeycutt. Row number 6, the number 92 of Timothy Eisberg. He'll be on the inside. To his outside for row 6, it's going to be the 43 of Alex Teft. Row number 7 on the inside, the number 23, Frank Chavez. And he'll be joined by the number 57 of Aaron Roth. Row number 8, the 311 machine of Matt Metler. He'll be joined by the 711 of Trevor Fettig. Rounding out your field today is going to be that number 87 machine of Eric Dodd. And that's going to round out our 17 car field as we get ready to rock and roll here. David, who are you going to be watching today as these drivers get ready to pull away for the first time today?
You know, I have a few drivers that I'm going to be kind of watching throughout the race this morning. He may not be on the front row, but it ain't going to take him long to get there. The 98 of Andrew Teft, obviously. Benelli's pretty fast. Wayne Scott's a good driver. But one of the drivers that I'm going to be interested to see is Alex Teft in that number 43. While I am a little biased because of the paint scheme, I want to see that car up front every week. You know, we were talking about it last week. These guys are all fast drivers. But that number 43 kind of just exists until it's go time. And when it's go time, you kind of just see him appear out of nowhere, almost like an apparition. So I'm going to be keeping an eye in the back, in the midfield around there, see how Alex is doing throughout the day, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see him up front.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely absolutely right on that one. You know, obviously, ones that you always want to watch is Alex Teft, Andrew Teft, you know, Kensley Smith. But the guy I'm very curious on watching today is going to see Brandon Honeycutt in that number 85. Week after week, he shows that he is a very, very, you know, quick. But today, he's starting back in that 10th position. So I'm going to keep my eye on him. But the guy that I'm very interested in seeing moving forward through this field is really going to be that number 18 of Blake Vegan. He's been showing that he's got the speed, and so I think he's going to be one that we have to watch here later on today.
Yeah, and another good noteworthy name to mention is the number 15 of Kensley Smith. You know, he's starting on that second row on the inside, but this is partially a drafting track, you know, and he's pretty good at drafting.
Absolutely, as we are now green flag racing for the first time here at Pocono Raceway, as these drivers quickly go up in through their gears and down into turn 1 for the very first time, which can be very treacherous if they are not careful, because this is where a lot of people miss their braking point, trying to get all that they can out of their positions on these starts and restarts. But as of right now, everybody does just perfectly fine, as we got 3 wide action already back here for that 3rd or 4th spot back here. Down, trouble already. Oh, the 98 saves it. What a save.
Yeah, you know, they were pretty aggressive. Yeah, that was a really good save. They were pretty aggressive going into 1. They were already 3 wide, and I was expecting a little bit of contact there, but they made it through the first corner just fine. And then coming out of the corner, you know, you saw them kind of just, you know, go 2 by 2, and then a little bit of aggression into the triangle. And that was a good save by Andrew, but that's also going to be a disadvantage for Andrew. With the next-gen cars, you do not want to slide it. Once you slide those tires, they get hot, they get worn a little bit more. And so Andrew's going to be hanging out for the next couple laps, cooling his tires down, and it won't be long before we see him where it matters. So good job by everybody to make sure that wasn't a bigger mess than it could have been.
Absolutely, and I want to point out Cody Benelli in that number 19 machine. He is out with the race lead early on here, followed by Ryan Warp. You know, and right now Benelli's put on almost a full second lead already on Ryan Warp. So that's definitely very interesting to see how fast he's decided to go ahead and try to, extend that lead here on just the second lap of this race. As you see him already trying to break up that draft, but no one else went with him. So
Yeah, and that's the IndyCar draft that I was referencing. You see it at Indy all the time when they're going down the long straights. They'll kind of weave their car left and right, and while it does kind of warm your tires up and wear them a little bit, it really helps ensure no one can really grab onto your draft and pull in on you. Because this track, while the corners are very technical, as far as you want the right brake, right throttle, the straightaways they're so long and the draft is so powerful. It's like like I said, on the Friday series. It's like reaching out with your hands and just grabbing the back bumper and just pulling that car towards you. So we're going to see a lot of that bobbing and weaving later on in the race. And, 120 laps here at Pocono. It's a big track, high speeds. We're going to see everybody kind of funnel through. And while Benelli, he is a fast driver, it's going to come down to strategy. These guys race hard, but they race clean. We saw a little bit of a mess up at, on lap 1, but it doesn't really matter much because these guys, they know car control. So if things like that happen, it doesn't always equate to a caution. So a lot of these drivers are just kind of making moves where they can, picking off one at a time, and then strategizing for the rest of the race.
yeah, as you see Blake Beacon working on the inside of Frank Chavez here, back here for that 12th spot. And you also have Andrew Taft trying to work around that number 311 of Matt Mettler, but I can guarantee you Matt Mettler, he's not going to give up that spot very easily to one of the fastest guys here in Racers Elite. So Matt Mettler definitely holding up the advantages that Andrew Taft keep trying to throw at him. But right now, everybody's single file on the edge of the turn number 4.
Yeah, we see a few drivers kind of sticking their nose out a little bit. Then Benelli again going down to the inside on the straightaway. You see it here. I don't know what you have queued up on your race control panel there, but this might be a good track to have the track map on. Let everybody see, how everything spaces out and just the beautiful, unique shape of the track at all times, because this is probably the most honest racetrack you'll find out there. Instead of labeling this a 5-corner or 6-corner, they actually label it correctly. Turn 1 is turn 1. The tip is turn 2. The final corner is turn 3. It's not like all the other tracks that lie about turn 1 and 2, how it's all one continuous turn, but they make it in 2 because it halves. This is a really unique racetrack, and in my opinion, like I said, the most honest track out there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you talk about, 3 different corners. In reality, this is actually technically a 5-corner racetrack. Each one of these corners are different, and they are mimicking real life corners. So turns 1 and 3, they're mimicking corners that are 1, 2, and I believe 3 and 4. While your tip of the track up here at the top, it is actually mimicking Indianapolis, which means that's actually only a 1 corner. So, in all reality, you actually have 5 corners here, not 6. Just saying.
Well, if you look at like Bristol, where turn 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, it's technically one continuous corner. So that's why I say if you're going by that standard, to be turn 1 would be 1 and 2. The tip would be 2 and 3 because you got your entry and exit. So it's just interesting how the oval world names labels their tracks, and that's why I say this is one of the most honest tracks because it's all just one continuous corner to me. It's always just turn 1 and turn 2 at every track, but because of the standard, it's split up in 2 at the half point of a corner. So that's why I say it would be 6. But yeah, it's such a unique layout as well. And if you're looking at the track map at the top right, it doesn't. No corner is actually the same. Turn 1 is a little bit tighter on exit. The tip is, kind of like an Indy corner where it's just, a quick through. And then 3 is kind of a longer, my brain is lacking on the technical term, but it's just a radius. It's a longer radius, and it's not as hard coming off the corner. It's not as sharp of an angle. So the drivers have to pretty much have different inputs at different points of the track, and it's quite a unique drive. I used to hate this track. Not as much as I hate Darlington, but this was my number 2. But after spending some lovely time here, this is one of my favorite tracks to race at.
Yeah, Pocono always has a special place in my heart simply because it's one of those very unique racetracks. As you see, David Davis now working on the inside of that number 10 machine, heading down here into turn 2 as he slips up the track, and he will overtake for that 4th position. But yeah,
Yeah,
this.
it's.
Go
Go ahead,
ahead,
my
go ahead.
friend.
No, go.
Okay, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll be happy to. It's funny how you mentioned the tip is kind of like an indie style corner, like Indianapolis, because
It
you're going to
is.
see a lot of familiarities there, like as far as driving styles. You're going to see a
Yep.
lot, I don't know who watches the Indy 500 and stuff like that, but a lot of the times going into the beginning of the corner, you'll see the drivers on the outside back out and then cut that corner like they normally would. They don't usually fight there. And you're going to see that a lot here because there's really only one line that doesn't eat up your tires and increase your chance of hitting the wall, and that's being right up on the inside line. So we're going to see a lot of familiarities there, not just, by visual, but specifically by the drivers. They're going to know, hey, this is a tough corner to get through. And while it looks like one of the easier corners, in my opinion, that's one of the more difficult corners to master here.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most difficult ones because they also call that the tunnel turn. That is where the infield leaves out after these races. And let me tell you what, it's not an easy corner because it's a tunnel corner. That means there is a little bit of bumpity bump in that corner. It's very minor, but if you hit it just right, it can upset the car and bring you right out to that outside wall. So that is something that these drivers have to be mindful of as well.
Yeah, especially with these specialized race cars, these things are so low to the ground, and they're designed that way to create as much, aerodynamic lock, I guess you could say downforce. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. I don't engineer these things. I just drive them. But yeah, these things are pretty much sucked to the ground. So as you're going over the bumps, if you don't get it just right, you can feel it in your front wheels as it bottoms out. And when you lose your front grip, you feel it, and it is a scary thing at 160 miles an hour.
It really is, especially heading down here into turn number 1. We've seen some really nasty hits throughout the years here at Pocono. As you see, Kensley Smith trying to work around Ryan Warp for that second position. He will get it here on exit. Um, but as I was saying, brake failure is a real thing, especially heading down here into turn number 1. You're topping almost 200 miles an hour, and when you have a failure, it is such a really nasty hit. And we've seen Jeff Gordon pound this outside wall. Ken Schrader, he's done it and actually flipped over in his wreck. Dale Earnhardt, so thankfully that's one thing we don't have to worry about here at on iRacing is brake failures.
Yeah, not on the same level that you would see in real life. Technology's great until it isn't, and usually when it isn't, it means it's not working. So, input failure or a visual failure, you could see some gnarly wrecks. But the good news is no one gets hurt. If you have a direct drive wheel, a lot of times people let go of the wheel. So yeah, it's not quite on the level of real life racing, but I've seen some interesting situations happen thanks to technology failing. Um, but I'm too lazy to turn off my driver radio, so I'm actually listening to these guys out there. And the number 45 of Warp actually yielded to Kensley Smith to make sure that he was able to have a clean pass. And I like respect like that. You recognize, hey, you know what, you might have better tires, or I'm on a saving technique. And so a lot of respect going on out there on the track. And I don't normally talk about driver chat and things like that, but this just reinforces the Racers Elite mentality. This league is built on respect and having fun. So we're going to see a lot of that today. A lot of drivers yielding, like I was saying, to the tricky triangle. But some of these drivers choosing to yield in some of the more safer corners to ensure the longevity of their race. And if you're listening and you're on iRacing and you're looking for a good league, they got multiple days. RacersElite.com. Go check them out. I I'm really impressed by these guys week by week, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. And this is kind of one of the bigger turnouts that I've seen personally since I've picked up announcing on Sundays, and that makes me excited for later race because these guys know when to hold them and they know when to fold them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just looked up here at the tower and realized that I am showing stages. These guys don't run stages, so let me go ahead and get rid of that. My bad.
I thought that was new, but I just woke up, so I wasn't sure if I overlooked something or what. But yeah, and that makes a strategy a lot different when you don't have stage breaks. There was one league that I was covering where the stages don't bring cautions. You keep going green. And that's a unique way to do it where you can still provide the bonus points but still keep the racing going and keeping the strategy at play. So, good to know. No stages today. We are full-fledged 120 laps. We go start to finish. No matter what happens is what happens. As you see them coming through turn 3 to 16, pretty far up there.
Yeah, Sam Lubers starting back in that 6th position, currently holding off David Davis in that 777 machine. This here is the battle for fourth place.
Yeah, and that's these are one of the tracks where you do have that preferred line on the inside, and but you can make more lanes work. It just eats your tires up more, requires different inputs, but that momentum on exit is always carried on most bank tracks. But this is one of the ones where you'll see drivers kind of prefer one line over the other through 1 and 3, but through that triangle you're going to see them follow into the same line. If they're anywhere other than that low side, they're burning their tires.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Let me take a look here.
Benelli, he's 0.3 on the board there. Getting closer there, Smith.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot closer. Taking a look here at that 43 first of Alex Teft. He's currently just hanging out right now in that 8th spot. He has moved up 4 spots since we've gone green flag, so he's doing a phenomenal job at the moment. He's just chilling out right now, relaxing.
Yeah, and he's doing a pretty good job so far.
Oh, Blake Beacon went way out of line there through the tunnel turn. And that right there just shows you how much ground you can lose, if you mess up that tunnel turn.
Yeah, it's hard on the brakes and turn left and pray. That wall comes at you real quick through the triangle. I've hit it many a times, and sometimes you think you got it, and then you don't.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the battle for first now heating up between Kensley Smith and Cody Benelli. Smith wants around him as he is flying around the outside. As you see that fire exhaust or come out of the exhaust of Benelli, he saw that Kensley Smith was coming and he just let him by.
Yeah, and that's a smart move. As a driver, as a racer, you really don't want to give up any positions. But you have to recognize this is still early in a long race, and that triangle is very hard to fight with if you're not in that preferred line. So you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna see that a lot. You're gonna see a lot of drivers, a lot of the faster drivers yield when there's a car who might have just a little bit better tires because they know better. They don't want to go in there side by side, especially if they're on the outside. If you're on the inside, you can maybe make it work, but even with that dirty air, I mean, you get real tight, and it's better to not mess up 2 cars than, get that position.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see David Davis now working on the inside of Sam Lubers out of turn number 1, coming down the short chute down to turn 2. And he's going to go and take... Oh, no. Okay, wow. Yeah. So both of them actually just got around Ryan Warp there.
Yeah, Warp was put in the line that you really don't want to be. You can't really get on your throttle like you can if you're arcing the corner down onto the inside. So, yeah, it was good driving by everybody involved to make sure everybody got through it clean. But, yeah, that just shows how easy it is to lose multiple spots if you're caught on the outside into that triangle.
absolutely. As we ride on board here with David Davis, looking back to Ryan Warp.
Warp looks like he's going to be under fire here soon by Wayne Scott as well. So easy enough to do to burn your tires up because, you know, like I said, you can make the tip of the triangle a full throttle corner if you nail it just right. You do got to get on the brake and kind of angle your car, but you can get real aggressive with your throttle, but that's going to hurt your tires a lot more.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that you don't want to do, as you see two different lines being taken here through turn 3. And that's one of the unique things about turn 3 is, you know, it reminds me a lot of Milwaukee, but it's not based off of Milwaukee. I can't remember the track name, but it's pretty much a flat, you know, track, but you can run two different lines there because there is enough baking there to make a little bit of a difference. As we do see Blake Beacon in that number 18 down on pit road.
You are correct, my friend. Turn 3 at Pocono Raceway is modeled after the Milwaukee Mile.
Oh, okay.
Now, you had me curious on that. Turn 1 is modeled after the former Trenton Speedway. Turn 2, like you said, Indianapolis, and turn 3 is Milwaukee Mile. So we have 3 tracks in one, which makes this a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like the 18 is now a lap down. Kinsley Smith was able to make a nice move on the outside around him. So a little bit of a rough start for the number 18, but we'll have to see if he can come back. Position 1 and 2, Kinsley Smith and Benelli. Chavez now in the pits. They've gotten a pretty good lead generated from third place, 5.2 second gap between Smith and Lubers. But the rest of the field there from 3 back, you can see it on the track map there, they're pretty close together. We're more likely to see some pretty fun action out through them. If the race shakes up like this, you're going to see just a couple cars battling for the lead, but the rest of them are going to be all in a pack and really racing hard at the end. If it stays like this, it's going to make quite an interesting time for you to have to cover their mic if they're spaced out like that towards the end, because you're not going to want to miss a moment of this action.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know this is one of the toughest things about Pocono is, you know, they just get so spread out and we just won't have much to talk about.
Yeah, and that is absolutely true there, as we see Teft now making a move on the inside of Warp there, coming out of turn number 3 down the front straightaway. Looks like he's going to have it cleared. He's going to come back up in line, and Warp's going to pull onto the back end of the 43 and try to hang on the best he can. Do we happen to know if, field mileage here?
That is a good question. 29-ish.
29-ish laps. So we are definitely within the pit window. If you're Smith or Benelli, I'm thinking you'd want to run it dry. But if you're some of these other drivers here towards the back, I mean, if you're already having a tough time, your tires are worn, do you think you would take an early pit if you were them?
At this kind of a track, probably not. But one guy that is struggling right now is that number 45 of Ryan Warp. You know, as we saw him, you know, almost right up at the wall through turns, you know, or up in the wall at turn 3. You know, I made a statement just a couple laps ago saying I love seeing the different lines through turns 3. But that's definitely not the line that you want to be in.
Yeah, no, there's such thing as too high. You ask a lot of people out there, they wouldn't say that. But you know, at this type of track though, I would have to argue with you about that. It is a very big track, very drawn out. You could easily pit and not lose a lap. And if you're on 4 fresh tires, if you're a fast driver like Warp, I mean, you could definitely pick up a little bit of a track position. Maybe not a couple actual standings position, but you could close that, 10-second lead after a couple laps, maybe make it 7 instead of, continuously falling back. So as we see one car diving off into the inside to pit, that's going to be Matt Metler in the 311. He's having a tough day. He's back there in 12th position. I don't say I disagree with this, but I'm on the fence like what you were saying. You wouldn't do it. Comes down to driver preference. I wonder how this is going to work out for him. It's a good looking car though.
Yeah, definitely very unique. Juggle.com. Hi, Matt.
He's gonna pull his phone out real quick while he's pitting. Hey guys, he seems like a really nice stand-up guy. I appreciate him very much. He reached out, I believe it was Friday, saying, hope you have a good call. So, yeah, I'm rooting for him as the underdog.
Yeah. I think Matt realized that we were showing him, so he revved up his engine there, possibly saying hi to us. So that's why I said what I said. But one driver that's still having issues trying to get back up through the field is this number 98 of Andrew Teft. After that beautiful save down in turn 2 on lap 1. But he's doing what he needs to do as he's working his way around Ryan Warp now in that number 45 machine heading down here into turn 2.
Yeah, if you're the number 98 of Andrew Teft, yeah, you're not worried. You're a smart guy. You know your racecraft, and he's just kind of strategizing right now. He's probably strategizing just as much as he is driving that car. As we had a pass for the lead just happened, it looks like.
Wait. What is my tower doing?
I'm taking a look myself. Yeah, no, Smith is still out there in the front, Benelli in second. So just a technical little hiccup. Don't worry, you didn't miss a moment of the action. Number 15 of Kensley Smith still in the lead. The number 18 is 1 lap down, just behind the leader. And then we do still have Benelli in second.
Wait, hang on.
Okay.
There it is.
Just a quick hiccup.
Alright, so while I get reloaded here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be back here in just a couple of moments.
Scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pocono Raceway. If it wasn't some sort of difficulty on my end, well, it wouldn't be my broadcast. So, iRacing Simulator 1, Mike 0. But welcome back. We are in the process of doing our pit cycles at the moment. And so right now, Kensley Smith is down on pit road.
Yeah, you know, the first driver out of the lead pack, sorry to cut you off there, Mike. First driver out of the pack was going to be Cody Benelli. He decided to pit on lap 28, and the rest of them decided to cycle in a lap later. So we're seeing right now, who is that? That was at the pits that you were showing. That's the 87 of Eric Dodd. He's pulling out now. We have Kirby Wainscott we're looking at right here in that blue and black Racers Elite Toyota. He's coming down pit road as well. Behind him is Andrew Teft in the 98. Behind him, Ryan Warp and Aaron Roth. They are the ones that are coming down now. Cycling through on the cycle now, Ryan Warp is, I believe, our current trying to see here. I think Ryan Warp or Kensley Smith. Because right now Kirby Wainscott's being ruled the leader thanks to iRacing's weird little timing system. Benelli. That would make sense. That would make sense considering he was the first one to pit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cody Benelli currently being scored as the race leader with Kensley Smith just over second and a half behind him. Luber's in the number 16. He's going to be, as you can see there on the tower, 5.3 back off of Benelli. So not much worry for these drivers. I mean, if you're Cody Benelli, you know you have kind of one lap older tires than the rest, but if you spend that out lap kind of being calm and collect, you're not really burning your tires up too much. So kind of an even playing field here as our first pit cycles. First green flag pit cycle has almost been completed. Maybe one or two drivers still need to come in. Hard to keep track of everybody at once, but these drivers now are going to kind of funnel back into the rhythm. They're going to do their best to save those tires and see what exactly they can do. But Ward back to 12th position after the pits. He's 20 seconds back. He's kind of at a disadvantage. So if I was him right now, I would be more worried about saving my tires than making up ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that very first stint there, Ryan Warp absolutely just destroyed his tires. And, you know, he fell from the race lead all the way back, you know, in this cycle to, like you said, to that 12th position. And he is currently sitting... there we go. 20 seconds back from the race lead. And so that's like that's a no-go for Ryan Wart.
Yeah, and a lot of drivers would believe that, you know, now's the time to drive hard and try to close up that gap, but these are seasoned Racers Elite drivers. They know the trends. They know how these races usually play out, and as long as he's able to keep his tires underneath him, he's going to be able to kind of slowly make up time as the race goes on. He's just got to worry about maintaining his position. You know, the further back he drops, the worse he's going to be. You know, because if you're 20 seconds back in the leader's pit, you might be able to gain a little bit of ground, but you're not going to be able to lap them like what you normally see at other tracks. You know, putting the other drivers, you know, at kind of a disadvantage. You know, coming out of the pits a lap down, you got to make your way around the leader, then back around for the position. Here, you're less likely to have that happen if you're that far back. So right now, if I was Warp, I'd be more focused on conserving and just staying where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he can definitely make up a lot of ground here just conserving his stuff, as we just saw it pass here for that 10th position. Timothy Eisburn getting around Robert Morris. Yeah. Cody Benelli out to a 0.3 second lead.
Smith is running him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, Smith's a fast driver. Benelli's a fast driver. It's interesting to see the different driving styles and how each individual driver out here can sit there and run such fast lap times and make up ground and not burn their tires off. So I'm going to keep my eye on the number 15 of Smith to see if this run that he's on right now is going to hurt him in the longevity of it.
Definitely something that we're going to have to keep our eye on for sure.
Both Tefs are up in 6th and 7th position, so they're slowly making ground. They are 12 and 14 seconds back off the leader respectively. You know, so it's just a couple more cycles to go before I think we see these guys up front.
Yeah, definitely, you know, but with them now currently saying that 12 seconds back from your race leader, it's going to be definitely difficult if there's not a caution.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a difficult time for these drivers if they're not sitting in 1 and 2, maybe the top 5. As we see a pass now, Kinsley Smith working his way around Benelli out of turn number 3. Wasn't too crazy. They gave each other enough room, but if we do have a replay of that, it might be worth showing.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and get that queued up for you.
Yeah, you see the power of the draft there going into the corner there. Kinsley Smith with one heck of a run. He's able to kind of use the track to his advantage, nice and wide. Benelli a little bit higher than most would like. Able to kind of swoop that inside line. Benelli kind of looked like he tried to do a little bit of a diamond technique there, but didn't quite work out for him. Now he's just kind of driving in the wake of the number 15 of Kinsley Smith.
Yeah, now Kinsley Smith is doing what Kinsley Smith said he's going to do this season now, and that is not let any championships get away from him. And, you know, he's doing just that here today, showing that, hey, you know, we're only week 13, 15, something like that of this season, you know, and he's like, all right, it's go time already. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's going to be something you want to watch because like I was saying earlier, you know, it's really easy to burn those tires up running fast times. So we're going to want to keep an eye on him on the later half of this fuel run, because this might come back to be something that will either help him or hurt him. With the lead that he's generating now, he's already up to almost a second lead off of Benelli. I'm not too sure that it's going to hurt him as much as it would be if you had that driver stuck on your back bumper. But Benelli could be a max saving right now. He could be trying to conserve his tires the best that he can and really ensure that he's able to just kind of fit well through the entire run. Because you still have almost 4 seconds off of the car behind you, the number 16 Luber's back there. You got a lot of time, but if you look, that's 2 cars versus 1. And while this may not be Daytona or Talladega or iRacing Superspeedway or even Echo Park, 2 cars running together breaks up the air. You guys will have a little bit of an advantage if you stay in line.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, right now, Sam Luber's, David Davis, you know, are showing what they've got here. And they're trying to use that draft, as you said, to really try to make a run on your race leaders here. They are sitting just about 4 seconds back. Yeah, well, they're just not really gaining much, especially here through the corners, and, well, definitely battling it out as they are right now. Definitely not going to make it, but here we go. David Davis trying to work on the inside. Sam Luber's not able to get down there.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing that I love about Pocono is you have your draft that kind of gives every driver an advantage, but it really comes down to how you take those corners. If you're able to maximize each corner, you're just going to continuously gain. But if you make a mistake or you're not as quick through the corners as the next driver, all the gain that you get on the straightaway is just eaten away through the corners. So, ooh, real close to that outside wall, which is really easy to do there out of 3. But yeah, these drivers staying in line with each other, I I would say that that may not have been a pass attempt, just a preferred line working its advantage.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I am gonna jump back here to the battle uh, for 13th between Eric Dodd and Trevor Fetzig in the 7-Eleven machines. These two I've been watching them the last couple of laps, and both of them are really giving it all they've got back here for this 14th position. And that's just absolutely something I love about these drivers. You know, it don't matter what position it's for. They're going to race you as hard as they can. But the leaders are now on the same straightaway as them. So they're getting ready to become a lap down as you see the 87 of Dodd go way high. And Fetzig trying to take advantage of it, but not able to do anything with it just yet. But look at this run he's going to get down into turn 2. Is he going to dive? No, he's going to just stay right there in his draft.
Yeah, it's smart driving by both drivers there not to try to make a move in the triangle. You know, because if that driver doesn't want to do the Indy yield, it's going to be a fun time getting through that corner because these cars are very subjective to the dirty air, and it really tightens your car up. So even looking at the cars, you know, spaced out like that, that number 711 is feeling the air. He's a little bit tighter than he may like to be. So he's got to drive it a lot differently, and that does slow you guys down. So while they're battling, the lead car of Kensley Smith is just going to be continuously gaining naturally, just pure from the speed difference that these drivers have with each other. But because you're doing everything you can to get around the car ahead of you, you have to be a little bit slower to make sure you don't drift up. So I like the battles. I love it. You know, drive it as hard as you can every lap. As Cody Benelli is in pit road, by the way, the number 19. He decided to come in a little bit early.
Yeah, Cody Benelli down getting service on his race car. This is a very interesting move, I should say. But
yeah, it's real early. That's all I had. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely, I have to agree with you there. I believe it's early as well. But he's going to come right out in front of Eric Dodd and Trevor Fetzig here in turns 1. But this is definitely a very interesting call here for Cody Benelli coming down onto pit road on lap 43. So now I'm interested in seeing how long everybody else is going to stay out.
I wouldn't be surprised to see everybody stay out until it's dry. I think I'm picking up what he's putting down. While he lost a little bit of physical track position now, he didn't go a lap down. So he's going to be still on the lead lap. If these guys have to pit in the next 10-ish laps, he's going to be able to stay out there just a little bit longer and close that gap that he may have already been in through the cycle. So I'm almost positive that if there wasn't something he needed to pit for in his personal life for like a quick, important text back or something like that, I think this is a strategy to try to close that gap at the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As we got a battle here for the 6th position between Andrew Teft and Brandon Honeycutt. But at the same time, they're also trying to reel in Alex Teft. That's just about a half second in front of him as well. So we might have a 3-way battle here for that 5th position here in just a couple short laps. Nice little battle going on right here, and let me tell you what, I'm absolutely loving it. Blake Beacon
Yeah,
and that number. Oh, go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, yeah, it might seem a little bit boring looking at the track map, seeing everybody being spaced out, but these drivers, they know what they're doing, and the cars that are bumper to bumpers, just, I don't know, it's fun to watch and think about, just rather than watching cars bumper to bumper, door to door. It's interesting to see how the different tactics come to play. And, if you're a strategizer, you can learn a lot by watching these guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's one thing, I feel that they can get very beneficial from these broadcasts. They can go back and say, okay, so what was this person doing? What was I doing wrong? Why did I mess up here? I mean, yeah, they can go back and look here before they leave the session, but we have different views than what they have, in their cars. So it's definitely very interesting to see here, to see what they can do. But I'm watching that separation between Alex Teft and Andrew Teft. It's not going up and it's not going down. It's pretty much staying just about the same. So I think the draft here today is not working out the way we usually see it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to be made or lost through the corners. Because, while they're able to generate the speed and use that draft to their advantage, you have to nail the corners just right. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to actually truly make that ground. You see natural fluctuation in the intervals when you go through a corner. You always see when the car starts braking ahead of them, the gap will get a little bit smaller, and then it'll gain just a little bit, and I mean by tenths of a second. So if these drivers aren't maximizing the corners, they're not really gaining anything through the draft. So it's going to be interesting to see once these drivers are in full go mode, just how much the draft's going to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, now that I mention it, they gained 0.2 on Alex. Yeah, so I mean, it comes back to what you said. It's all about, exit and entry of these corners. And this time Alex actually pulled away. Is Brandon Honeycutt gonna try to make a run here in turn one? No, he's gonna just... Oh, there he goes. Now he's looking on the inside of Andrew. He's not able to hold it.
That was another one of those respectful moves. Heard over the driver radio, letting him know, hey, if you want it, you can have it. But even when a driver tries to give it to you, you're not always able to get it. So fun to kind of watch how everything plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the same time, you don't want to lose so much track position, when you're trying to give up a spot like that. So you got to do it at the right time. You have to know how to do it correctly, to maximize your time lost. Or minimize your time lost. Something like that. I don't know. I'm tired.
No, you're absolutely right. You want to minimize everything as much as possible. It's all about ensuring that when you are allowing a driver to go by, or you're taking any type of pass, you don't want to lose any ground, and you want to make sure that you're set up properly for the corner. So sometimes drivers offering a yield isn't optimal for you, especially if they do it at the last second before they enter the corner. You're expecting the cars to go a certain way, and now all of a sudden a car's going in an unexpected way, and it's a little bit distracting if you ask me.
Yes. If it was me, I'll always be on the radio on the exit of the corner. And, for instance, here and, coming out turn 4 or turn 3, I'll be like, all right, take me heading into the 1. As you see, Frank Chavez gets caught speeding down on pit road. So he's going to have to wait an extra 40 seconds. And that will put him a lap down.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's really easy to do. It's something every driver tries their best not to do. But it could be just 2 mile an hour over, and your whole race is on a different strategy level. Mr. Mike, I will be back here in just a few minutes.
Alrighty. Going to jump up here to Sam Lubers in this number 16 machine as David Davis is still trying to reel him in. Right now, everybody's pretty much spread out at the moment. Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine, he is definitely flexing his muscles as he's pretty much opened up a 2-second lead to Sam Lubers. And then once you jump back to Sam Lubers, he's got a half a second lead over David Davis in that 777 machine. David Davis definitely, once again, you know, flexing his muscles here and, you know, showing that, yeah, he can run up here with the top dogs in Racers Elite. So both of these drivers, Sam Lubers and David Davis, really starting to show out this season here in the Racers Elite Premier Series. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time before we see both of these drivers in victory lane. But as of right now, this is your closest battle on track. But we are quickly approaching that point in time where we are going to see drivers come down pit road. And we do have 2 drivers currently out, and that's going to be the 18 of Blake Beacon and the 311 of Matt Metler. I know Sundays are pretty busy for Matt Metler in that 311, so I'm sure something popped up and he had to run out for work. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened there with the 311. Not sure about the number 18. It's not very often that we see Blake Beacon call a race early, so I'm wondering if there's some sort of a mechanical issue going on with his race car at the moment. But they loaded up that vehicle and called it a day so far. Going to jump back here as Alex Teft is now on the back bumper of Kirby Wainscott. And this here is going to be the battle for 4th place here in the closing laps of this pit cycle. Andrew Teft struggling back there in that 7th position at the moment after getting sideways and saving it on the first lap. But he's definitely come back, and so far he's comfortable in that 7th position. But right now, this is your closest battle on track. Kirby Wainscott, Alex Teft, both for Chicken Coop Racing. They're going to continue to pace around Pocono here. Ooh, Alex stepped up into the wall just a little bit. Alex Teft, I feel he is definitely trying hard to push everything he's got right now to get to the back of Wayne Scott, as he's gotten closer now, just 0.2 of a second back. So he's definitely made up a lot of ground here on Wayne Scott in the last couple of laps. As you see, Timothy Eisburn, he's down in the pits in that number 92 Shaco LLC machine. Brandon Honeycutt, he's made that hard left-hand turn down to pit road. I believe Kensley might be... here he comes down pit road, and here comes Sam Lubers and David Davis with them. They got to make sure they slow down into that 55-mile-an-hour pit limit. They don't want to speed. As you see these drivers coming down pit road. A brand new look for that number 15 this week. Rocking out that Monster Juice apple. Just like that, he is away, and so along with him is Sam Lubers and David Davis. Robert Morris, he's down here on pit road. And here comes Eric Dodd down pit road as well here on entry. Easy in. Alex Teft, he is now down here on pit road as well. So our pit cycles are absolutely engaged at this point in time. As we take a look, and I just realized that how bumpy this pit road is. Kirby, Wayne Scott, Andrew Teft, and now down on pit road. Ryan Warp, we're still waiting for him to come down for his second pit stop of the day. And here he comes now.
My friend, I have returned. I apologize for that. Thanks to your beautiful calling, I know exactly what's been happening this whole time.
Absolutely. And so with that being said, that's going to turn the race lead back over to Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine. Cody Benelli in that number 19, he got hit with speeding on pit road. So he's going to spend a good extra 40 seconds and miss his pit stall. So that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely off his A game today. Now my question is, up there he goes, he disappears as he decides, you know what, it's not worth it. That's interesting because he pitted real early. He still had about 10-ish laps, I want to say, maybe a little less, on his fuel tank. So interesting to see how that strategy was playing out, and unfortunate for him. Wish him the best of luck next week, but yeah, that's tough luck.
Yeah, something tells me that something might have happened out in the real world and he had a boogie on out of here real quick. Because Cody Benelli, he normally doesn't make mistakes like that. So something tells me he's
Yeah,
definitely had a boogie out, so.
broke his shifter mount, he says in chat. Oh my,
no.
that is something I live in fear of daily. My shifter itself or my shifter mount, I feel that. Like I said, technology is great until it isn't, and usually when it isn't, it's because something broke or just stopped working. Oh man, well, that's tough luck for you this week here at Pocono, but hope you get it fixed up in a good, quick, in a hurry. If since you're in the chat, if you're still listening, my friend, was that why you pitted earlier in the race, or was that strategy? And what was your show? Oh, the 15 in the back of the 11. Oh, that was a quick apology from Kensley for that one. So, good respect going on. Didn't realize that the car was going to give him the outside line. He was trying to run it, so. Very scary moment for the number 711 and the number 15 at Kensley Smith, but no harm, no foul. Smith still up to a 1.5 second lead off of Lubers there, and the number 16 of second. David Davis in the number 777, the 777 machine, is 3 seconds back. Honeycutt, guy you talked about earlier, he's sitting pretty in 4th position, only about 13.5 seconds back with Alex and Andrew Teft in 5th and 6th. Those guys bumper to bumper, as we see here. They are about 14 to 15 seconds back off the leader. They're hanging in there. You know, they're biding their time. They're letting things happen. And as you could tell from Cody Benelli, anything can happen at Pocono.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see this battle between the Teft brothers get better down here in turns 1. Andrew Teft, he's going to take it for the moment, but Alex Teft, he's not one to back down from a battle from his brothers, so don't anticipate this battle to be done just yet, unless if Andrew is just that much better than Alex. As of right now, he's actually starting to pull away just a little bit.
I don't mean this in any shade, in any way, shape, or form. They're both some strong drivers, but out of the two Tefts, who do you think is the mentor and who's the mentee?
Ooh.
Because that could also be coming to play in this. A lot of people like to work on following. So Andrew might be a stronger Pocono driver, so he might have made that pass and under an agreement with each other. And Alex might just be following his line, working on his inputs, and we might see them both start following up.
Yeah, I mean,
or we might see one take off.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely for sure. But I mean, right now Andrew Teft, he is starting to pull away here just a little bit. So I think Andrew might be better here at Pocono than what Alex is. But Alex, he's been able to flex his muscles elsewhere and show that he's the better Teft. So it's always very interesting to see how this all will play out. And Cody Benelli in chat says he had some wheel damage, so he pit early, was trying to work around it with the shifter wobble, then it just broke the rest of the way, and at that point he said nope.
That's tough luck, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely very tough luck there. And yeah, so this battle here for the 5th position is pretty much died itself out. But I want to come back here to Brandon Honeycutt. Brandon Honeycutt, he started back in that 10th position, struggled a little bit, and here he is now, up here in the top 4. I don't know how these guys do it. I really don't.
I've been in Elizabethton. Beautiful place.
Yeah. But like he's
Always
been,
fun to see where drivers are from.
oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, sorry, continue on.
But Brandon Honeycutt, he's been back in that 10th, 11th spot, 9th spot, and just out of nowhere here on this pit cycle, here he is up in 4th.
Yeah, it's the power of strategy and executing on green flag pit stops. You can gain a lot, you can lose a lot. So it's good to see the number 85 ride of Brandon Honeycutt sitting up there in the top 5. He's able to salvage a little bit of the time out there right now. He looks like he's gaining a little bit on the leaders too. He went from 13.8 to 13.7, now just under. But you see there, that gap gaining. I wouldn't be surprised if Honeycutt's in a corner right now. And or was in a corner there. You see him on the back straightaway or the front straightaway now. It's so weird. The track layout. What the only actual like identifiable straightaway is usually the back stretch. Normally up by that little tip of a track, that's the start finish line.
Yep, definitely. And while we have a little breathing room here, let's take a look here through the field. Kensley Smith, he's out of Tarboro, North Carolina. Sam Lubers, who is right there on his tail, he is from Farmington, Missouri.
Not too far. Not too far from me.
David Davis, well, he doesn't want to share where he's from.
He's not from anywhere, don't ask.
Yeah. And obviously Brandon Honeycutt from Elizabethton, Tennessee. The Taft brothers out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Kirby Wayne Scott, he's out of Sparta, Kentucky.
Good movie.
Timothy Eisberg not sharing his location either. Robert Morris out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Ryan Warp out of Oregon, Wisconsin.
Where does the N come from, my friend?
What?
You said Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I don't know.
There you go.
Look, leave me alone. Lincoln, Nebraska comes from Aaron Roth. You know what? You're fired.
Oh, man, not again. 3rd time this month.
Oh, geez. Trevor Fettig out of Petoskey, Michigan. Petoskey, I don't know. He's from Michigan. Eric Dodd out of Moorhead, Kentucky. Frank Chavez, he doesn't like to share his location. Cody Benelli, he's out of Pensacola, Florida. Just about 4 hours from me. Blake
Oh, we do have a battle for the lead right now happening.
Blake.
The 15's under fire by the number 16.
Yeah, let's get back to them. Go.
Yeah, these guys were fighting through multiple corners here, so sorry to interrupt the field identification check, but these guys are going hard at it. Smith doesn't want to give it up, and Lubers really wants to take it.
Yeah, Lubers just muscles his way around the outside there in turns 1, and he's going to quickly take over that race lead. But...
Yeah, but my question is, for how long?
Not long. This is all strategy out of Kensley. Kensley is a very, very smart racer. He knows that he needs to save some of his, equipment for later on in this run. We are approaching 20 laps here in about six laps since they last pitted. So, and with that pit window opening up, 20, what did I say earlier, 23-ish laps, 27-ish laps. This is all the strategy being played by Kensley Smith right now.
Yeah, and it took me 72 laps to realize, but I'm in love with Kensley Smith's paint scheme there. If we had a scheme in the night, him and Alex would be my number 2 picks right now. I don't know if anybody's a monster drinker out there, but if you like apple juice and you like energy drinks, that Monster Apple that he's got on that ride is absolutely chef's kiss. I hate that meme, But you know what? Some things deserve it, and I think that drink is one of them. Even though Red Bull's been treating me well on the track, Monster, they got some good flavors.
You know, I have to admit, I love my apple, drinks, but I am not a big fan of the apple Monster.
Oh, you're fired, sir.
Thank God. See you later. No.
Broadcast just ends. It's just like, I didn't give him the power to fire anybody. What just happened?
So,
You know, it's interesting you say that because it tastes like apple juice.
yeah, I don't know. There's just something about that flavor that just doesn't really, do it for me.
We have to get you checked out.
Look, we already know that there's a heck of a lot. Look, I'm friends with you. That says a lot, okay?
You know what? I agree.
Yeah, I know.
I have no objections to that, my friend. That makes a lot of sense. You know, if anyone is friends with me, you already know there's a couple screws loose, maybe missing. But everybody doing a good job out there right now, keeping as much distance away from me as they can possibly. Aaron Roth, the number 57, he's going to be under fire here. He's just about to go a lap down. You can see the leaders coming out of the corner there. That's not where you want to be. If you're Roth right now, you are not too happy with yourself or your team or whatever may have caused the situation to happen. You are very upset right now.
Yeah, definitely. And Sam Lubers right now, he's just hanging out just about a 0.6 seconds in front of Kensley at the moment. But we do have a battle brewing back here with that number 21 machine. And Timothy Eisburn directly in front of him.
You know, looking at the, there's the Indy draft. That's what I call it. I don't think there's any official definition, but you really don't see that.
Draft. Yeah, you don't see it anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think that speaks to the absolute uniqueness of Pocono. Every corner is different. Every corner is modeled after a different track, and you see different type of driving styles adapt. You know, like we're talking about. You don't really see at Daytona. You do at the end of the race. You see a lot of drivers trying to move around and try to break up the draft, but you really don't see it to this effect. You don't see them bobbing and weaving going down the straightaway, really trying to break off just one car. You know, a lot of the times you'll see them at Daytona stay in line and then wait until they make a move. And then if you're the leader, so to speak, and they're making a move on you, you make a move. Here, you really see them just absolutely on the wheel, just trying their best to make sure that the car behind them doesn't pick up the draft. And it's crazy that this is for 8th place.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Indianapolis is such a wide racetrack, on those straights where you can make those big, swerves that you see to break the draft. But Daytona, you don't got that much room. You only pretty much got three car widths to work with. And, well, it just looks so much better at Indy when it's done at Indy.
No, I agree. And it's, I don't know, it's phenomenal. I'm not an open wheel fan. I enjoy watching them occasionally, but Indianapolis is one of the ones where I love seeing the shot down the straightaway as all the cars just snake their way down the track. It's almost like they have an invisible chicane and they're going left, right, and the skill level that it takes to do that. These guys literally look like you're playing a game of Snake. They're so perfectly in line with each other. It's almost choreographed.
Oh yeah, I mean, like when you get that snake effect started, you can place a pole right where that snake, goes from, big wobble there out of Morris, and that's going to allow Eisburn to get a run again here into turn number 3. No, yeah, turn 3. And here comes Morris right back on the inside. But you can
Yeah,
put
he's
a
not going to give it up.
yeah, but you can put a pole right where that snake starts to go back and forth, and every driver will go right around that pole because it's so well done. That's why it's called a snake, and it just boggles my mind that it could be in one spot, and they're just like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, it speaks to the skill and the practice that they put in, knowing the race that you're in and understanding exactly what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do. It's phenomenal because a lot of the times you'll see it happen in like stock car racing where they'll make that, snake, but the car behind isn't expecting it. So you see a little bit of hesitation in it. You see a lot more of the front end of the car than you do in some of the Indy cars.
Yeah. See, but for me, I would be that guy that would hit the pole simply because I anticipate the movement. So when they start to move, I'm already starting to move with them.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair though, you would hit the pace car if you had the opportunity.
Oh, well, of course.
Not not for any lack of skill or anything like that. It's just
I hate everything else out there.
Exactly. You got it. You're a consistent fella. I will give you that. You got to make sure that if you do one thing, you got to do it all. So I give you respect right there. But honestly, I hate being a part of that snake. It's such a sketchy feeling being 180 miles an hour and having to go left, right, left, right, left, right. Coming from a stock car, it doesn't feel natural. It makes me worry. But if you don't snake like that, you're really putting yourself at disadvantage. And we talked about it on Friday. That wall of air just hits your nose. And so if these guys are staying in the wake, going left, right, and you don't, you can gain positions doing that. It's really a tricky situation to be in if you're a fan or not a fan of doing that. It's almost an obligation. It's like the Phoenix dogleg. I hate going down there, but you lose a lot of time if you don't.
I don't go down there because every single time I do, I spin out. Ain't gonna lie.
It's tricky. It is a tricky track to handle. They call this the tricky triangle, but the Phoenix with that new dog leg, it's not new at this point, but it is new to me because I just recently this year drove it for the first time. It's a whole different beast, and I had to practice it for the Coca-Cola qualifying series in the trucks. And that transition is so hard that I would go out there with a clean truck after one dog leg run, like one lap hitting that dog leg, the truck is actually damaged. Like you see scratches on the side and everything. It's a hard transition. So it's really easy to make a mistake there. And coming back to Pocono and Indianapolis, with that snake effect, it's these cars, especially these stock cars, when they're trying to break that draft, they're made to turn left, not so much right. Martinsville, if you turn right at that track, you're in the wall in these cars. It's crazy how the setups drastically affect the cars, but it's really easy to do that even with the setup that allows it. These cars are perfectly balanced and they're designed to go left. They're designed to take the banking, the lack of banking. And so when you do things out of the element, you really got to be on your A game.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more with you.
Hensley Smith back to a 3.3, almost a 3.5 second lead, gap between Lubers and the number 16 who's leading. Trevor Fettig and the number 711 is coming into the pits. So cycles, I think, opened.
Yeah. We're definitely going to start seeing more drivers come down pit road. I need to step away for about 30 to 45 seconds. I'll be right back.
While he's away, we're not going to miss much of the action. I will let you guys know if there's anything interesting happening off camera. But right now, we're going to look at the number 15 of Kinsley Smith. Kind of just riding his race right now, preparing to come into pit road to get 4 tires and some fuel. Right now, the only car on pit road is Fettig in the number 711, but we'll keep an eye out as the pit window is open. So far, no takers out of the top 3. Looks like top 7 is elected to run a few more laps here today. That car ahead of Kensley Smith that we're seeing here is going to be the number 711 of Fettig. So he's at a disadvantage right now. He's going to be just 2 laps down now. So he's got some ground to make up as we saw another driver come into pit road. That's going to be P9 of the 92. Yep, he's down pit road right now.
Timothy Eisburn heading down pit road to get service done on his number 92 Shaco LLC machine.
Thank you. I don't know why I struggle with that name. I hear you say it quite a bit, but I knew better.
I don't understand it either, but it's eyes burn. Like my eyes are burning.
Yeah, and I remember the analogy, but my brain, when I read something and I know it's pronounced something else, my brain always goes to how it's read. And I do not understand it. So, better safe than sorry for me. These are some solid drivers, solid people. I'd rather not disrespect them. So, a lot of the times I'm going to be passing that name pronunciation off to Mike here. He's a lot better and a lot smarter at that than I am. But right now we're seeing the number 777 of David Davis. He's going to be holding on second place right now, right in front of Kensley Smith.
Kensley Smith is, I think he's currently trying to save as much as he can, because if they really only can go just about, not even 30 laps on a tank of fuel, they will all have to come back down one more time. So my question is how much are these guys going to try to save?
Yeah.
See if they can make it. Look, you know what? I'm not even going to say if they can make it, because they've surprised me multiple times already. I think they're just pushing it to the point where they know that they can make it to the end on one more stop. I'm not gonna lie.
Brandon Honeycutt, 85, he's going to be coming in the pits. But yeah, no, these guys are some master strategizers, and they know how to save their fuel. And another thing about it, though, even if they can't necessarily make it, the more fuel you have coming into pit road, the shorter your stop is, just like everyone talks about at super speedways. So these guys know how to maximize every moment on the track. And it sounds like we're going to have a couple takers on the pit road this time by. I believe that's going to be the number 21 of Morris. I believe he said he's coming in. Oh, wow. What a beautiful shot there, Mike. You should fire that camera guy.
Yeah, I just realized what one of those signs said. I apologize for anybody that was reading it.
Now you got me curious.
I didn't... yeah.
One of the pit road signs?
Yes. Robert Morris, he's coming down pit road now.
Is it the stop one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like...
That's gold.
I'm looking at it, I'm like... that's funny. I like
that.
That
is
oh my
great.
god, I'm live!
Definitely not for broadcast, but that is something that I would do, because you've seen it. I've blown a car and a half past my stop before, so I relate 100% to that pit sign. Excuse me, the number. Whose car that is? That's great.
Whose car or whose sign is it?
If you're asking, it's gonna be the number 21 of Rob Morris. Oh, that's great. I got
Nice.
respect for that.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
He's coming out right in
Kinsley's.
front of Wayne Scott, almost directly in front of him, but Wayne Scott's able to make it by on the outside just fine. Just an update for everybody.
Yeah, Kensley Smith, he is retaking the race lead as we are still awaiting our top 4 to come down pit road. And that's going to be Kensley Smith, the Teft brothers, and Kirby Wayne Scott. Here comes Kensley Smith as something tells me Andrew and Alex might be following suit. No.
Negative.
Andrew's actually going to stay out.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see the Teft brothers stay out for one more lap because that's a huge gain for you. And even if these guys get back out there before you're able to make it back around, the new tire advantage isn't going to come into play. They're going to have very little real estate to have to make it to pit road. If they stay out maybe 2 to 3 more laps, that new tire advantage might hurt them on the strategy. So I'm thinking this time by, they're going to come in.
Yeah, definitely. As we see that 21 machine, Robert Morris working his way back around Kirby Wayne Scott there. Andrew Teft coming out of turn number 3, and he's hitting down pit road.
Yep. Yeah, that's smart. They're able to maximize. Alex, though, he's a gambling man, which doesn't surprise me with that Planet Express. They always gamble with their lives anytime they make a delivery. So he's going to decide to stay out one more lap. Wayne Scott came into pit. So now it's going to be interesting to see if that new tire advantage is going to be as much of a difference as I was anticipating, because he's running a 54.623. Let's see here. Kinsley Smith, his first full out lap, still a 1:26, so he's still getting up to speed. So I don't know if that's going to hurt as bad as I would anticipate. I would be hard pressed to say he's going to stay out one more lap, though.
Yeah. If he does, it's going to be definitely very surprising.
Yeah, because he's definitely not going to come out in the lead. Here he comes in now. He's not going to come out in the lead at all, but it might not hurt. He might be able to gain a little bit of ground on the leaders. Number 45 is going to come in this time by. As that cycles Lubers to the lead. Davis and the 777 are going to be in second. Kinsley Smith in third. Test fourth, Honeycutt in fifth. Yeah, I don't know if it was a good idea to stay out another lap.
Oh, Sam Lubers is saving. We do have 29 laps to go. You know, let's run on board here.
Yeah, one thing you're going to look for here is the viewer. If you look down on the dash, that 5 at the right of his gauge cluster, you're going to be looking to see if he shifts or not. This is a shifting track, so you're going to go from 5th to 4th in the corners, and if you don't, that means you're saving.
Let's jump back here to David Davis. Let's see what he's going to do down here in turn 2.
Yeah, see him down in 4th gear. He's going to upshift now right before they get up to the tunnel turn. Then going in, you're going to see him kind of apply a little bit of braking, downshift to 4th. He's going to come out, and then even before he gets to turn 3, we're going to see him go back up to 5th gear, and then through 3, we're going to see him go down to 4. So he's not saving fuel through shifting. He might be using a little less throttle up than what he may normally do if he is trying to save a little bit. But yeah, he looks like he's on full blast right now.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, let's come back here to Kensley Smith, see what Kensley Smith is up to.
Yep, coming into one, hard on the brakes, down into the corner. He's shifting down to fourth.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see the different driving styles. Some people like to shift. I like to shift into a corner. Some of these guys like to shift at the apex. So Andrew Teft down to 4 as well. He's giving it a decent run for the money here. Up to 5th. Coming into the tunnel turn on the brake, rolling it down. He's staying in 5th through the tunnel turn. So that's another tactic you can do. You can shift through the longer corners, bring it down to 4th. And then through the tunnel turn, you could stay in 5th and save just a little bit extra fuel compared to those who are shifting down into 4th through the tunnel. So it's going to be interesting. It's interesting to see the different driving styles and the techniques, especially from someone like Andrew Teft. We've seen him before where he's saved and saved and saved. He knows how to get it done. So wondering how it's going to play out here with 26 laps to go. Quite a bit of difference between each driver. Luber's in the lead in the number 16. Davis in 777. He's 2.3 off of Luber's. Smith in the number 15 ride. He's just over 4.5, just under 5 seconds back. Andrew Teft, he's 12.5 seconds back off the leader. Honeycutt, 15 seconds off. So it's interesting to see if any of these drivers are able to make something happen. The top 3 right now, they're going to be our closest battle for the lead. These other drivers seem to be out of the picture right now, but it still is a long track. We have a lot of real estate to make up, as we have a driver who just had a technical issue, Ryan Warp, in that number 45. He's going to be labeled as out right now. It's going to be interesting to see if he comes back in.
Yeah, definitely.
Points matter.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, here he comes back in now. Just a quick maybe battery swap, so to speak. Should be seeing him back out on the track here momentarily.
Yeah.
Davis now under a second off of Luber's. Luber's, though, saving fuel, probably max saving. Trying to make sure he does have enough for a Green-White-Checkered, should they have one. However, with the trend of the track today, I don't think we're likely to see a single caution, which is mind-boggling.
Again, it's just a testament to the way these racers are here in Racers Elite. And if you would like to join them, guys, head on over to Racers Elite Discord. I'm sorry, racerselite.com. Sign up on our Discord. Get with Andrew. We can try to get you guys going over there. Ryan Warp all of a sudden just jumped out or jumped into pits. That was weird. I don't know.
Might be a timing issue with him coming out on the track from the garage after a technical issue. Yeah, and you know, these guys are driving for more than just bragging rights. These guys race each week with each other multiple days a week. And these guys really try hard to get that championship under their belts. And it's a fun time, even if you are just there for bragging rights.
Yep.
Davis now on the back bumper of Luber's. Going to be interesting to see how the number 16 handles this. Is he going to yield? Is he going to step up his race? What would you do if you're in save mode and you got a car on your bumper?
Oh, 23 laps to go. No question. I'm just going to let Luber's go. I'm sorry, Davis go. But I can guarantee you I ain't going to leave that back bumper of Davis.
I would use it as an advantage. I would stick right in that draft myself and be in the position where I want to be. You can make passes happen here with the power of the draft. So as long as you're able to maximize your corners, you can get a run on exit and use that draft to pull in even closer and then just make one ungodly run.
Yeah. Sounds like you've done this a time or two.
After 16 years, I would say that. Yeah, iRacing is one of the soft spots in my heart. Yeah, I've seen it grow in so many ways that I'm still just mind blown with the advancements that it's been going on, and still for being in a game engine that was coded back in early years. I mean, this started as a passion project, I believe, based off of NASCAR 2003 season, one of the best in my opinion. They adapted it, and then 2007 or 2008, that's when iRacing really became what it is, and all the rewrites happened, and it became its own true engine. And it's old, but it's mighty. It's still trucking along there, and while it does have its disadvantage from the age, they're constantly making improvements. Number 92 is praying for caution out there, and you know, I'm kind of on his side. While I love the green flag racing, I would love to see this field get bunched up and see how everybody handles it. These guys put on one hell of a show when they're spread out, but they put on one even greater show when they're together.
Yeah, you could just hear these cars just clutching.
I tried that at Darlington. I almost hit the wall. My brain does not function 2 inputs at one time.
It's bad enough that I'm over here trying to shift, but now you want me to add in fuel saving and everything else while trying to battle for position and, you know, keeping my eyes open and looking out for wrecks. Man, look, give me one thing to do at a time, okay?
Yeah, I could barely walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Thank you.
Wait, you can do that?
Barely. A couple close calls happened, but yeah, I was able to get it done after some practice. But that's a testament to practice makes perfect and a couple hospital trips.
Oh, I'm in your trip.
That's how I ended up in the hospital.
I fell into that one.
Yes, you did. Hook, line, and sinker, my friend. But as we're having our quick banter here, Luber's now in position 3. Kensley Smith was able to make a beautiful pass into second place. He's now looking to chase down the back bumper of the 777 of Davis. This is where it's go time. If you were able to save the fuel and you got the tires underneath you, if you're in the green, you're going for it. Some of these drivers might be saving a little extra just in case that green-white-checker comes out, or for that extra peace of mind. I'm a paranoid Nancy. I generally never think I'm going to make it if I'm within 1 lap. If I'm 2 laps in, I'm a little bit more confident, but when I see that thing have a 4-lap difference, I am all go.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, that's something that I'm going to have to try. I still need to go back and look from Wednesday. See how many laps was left when you had me come down.
It was at 100, and the race was, what, 140 or something like that? So I had you come in exactly 40 or 30, 40 laps in. So you were 3 to 4 laps shy, and I do not think you could have saved enough. Not without losing a lot of ground. How they were able to manage it just speaks to the testament of the skill these guys have.
Yeah, for sure.
Not saying you don't have the skill, but I am.
You know, maybe that's something that we should, you know, work on and see what we can do.
Oh, I'm down. I'm already strategizing in my head how to make that practice happen, because these guys, they have it down to a science. And
They
I don't
really
know
do.
about you, but I'm a whale biologist. I'm not a scientist, okay? My certificate came from whalebiology.org/we're not a scam. So these guys out here, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have degrees in fuel saving.
So I'm showing that Robert Morrison, that 21 machine, has a meatball.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
you see that engine
Oh.
smoke.
What did we miss?
I don't know. I don't think your race event would have caught that. He does have a dirty front end. I'm looking here on the replay myself. That way I can help you know where to back up. Looks like tunnel turn. Yep, tunnel turn. Oh, we're going to want to go on board for this one.
All right.
Go ahead and I'll play from there. Yeah, we're going to want to go on board because, oops.
Shift. Shift. Oh. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the car kick sideways into the corner, and if he's on an H pattern, oops.
Yep, that will do it. But luckily, he will have one fast repair, and so he's already back out on track.
Yeah, I heard him key up on the driver chat. Well, at least I can make it on fuel now. So, finding the small things in a bad situation. So I got respect for that. Morris, it sucks to see it happen, but at least you're taking it in stride.
Yeah, for sure. There's very, very few drivers here in Racers Elite that that need to have their attitudes checked, I guess we would call it. Because, I mean, a lot of these guys, especially this whole entire group right here on track right now, like, they can have a short fuse, but they are also very, very respectful about everything that they do.
I mean, as a racer, everyone has a short fuse. You especially when you've been doing it for so long. I'm sure some of these drivers are very seasoned. You've seen it all. So you have a smaller bucket of patience when it comes to things around you, especially when the other drivers are better than what they may be doing on the track. So a door bang, while they're going to be respectful, that just absolutely makes anyone fume. And if you've been racing with these guys for a whole season, 2 seasons, that these guys try to keep it clean. So when you get hit, in the moment you're like, what are you doing, man? You know better. And then after you sit down and you think about it, you're like, last week we were door to door for 7 laps. He never hit me. That definitely was a mistake. I should maybe check myself the next time it happens. And the next time it happens, you still get just as angry. I'm certifiably that way. Happened to me on Monday in the Legends cars. I got turned around by netcode, and I was fuming at every single driver on the track, even if they were in last place. And then I went back and looked at it, and I went, I should have been more calm in my head.
You're fast, dude.
It's that Red Bull scheme, brother. It adds extra horses, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. As we jump back to this battle for the 4th position, as David Davis in that 777 machine, he's down on pit road.
I almost want to say Lubers has this in the bag, but we'll have to see. And and if both Tefts came down when they did, if Lubers able to save, I think Tefts are in the best position to stay out, other than Lubers.
That's definitely a very good possibility.
Yeah, and if you're an aspiring driver and you want to learn how to better yourself out on the track, this is the league to watch. Tune in every race that they have. They're always long enough for strategy with the fuel setting that they have. These guys are something to watch because it'll remind you every day, every week that you watch. Don't always worry about what position you're in until that white flag lands. Because Lubers, if he's able to pull this off, he went from 1st to 3rd. And he's 1.5 seconds back off of Kensley Smith. If Kensley Smith has to pit, that puts Lubers in the front. And if he's saving, he has 9 seconds off of the closest car, which is 3rd place, who would then be 2nd. So you still have a lot of real estate to continue to save and make sure you are going to be able to make it extra laps in case the Green-White-Checkered comes out. So, I mean, if you're here for the action, if you're here for learning, you have it all with Racers Elite. You need to pay me extra every time I plug them, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll give you extra by saying, "Good job, David."
Aw, thanks, man. You know, honestly, you could just give me a day off and give me a free pass to drive the Friday series. I'll even be an in-car announcer. I will announce while I'm racing. We have to do that one day. We really have to do that. I have to get offer color commentary from inside the car under green flag racing. I think that'd be an absolute hoot.
Oh, that would be.
I would say on a Monday, but ain't no way. I'm tied for the championship points. I'm not risking that.
Yeah, that would be fun as hell.
A little bit of bobble from Honeycutt coming out of the corner there. Not a big loss for him, but if you're looking in your mirror and you see Andrew Teff there in the number 98, you know he's fast, and you know he's only a second back, so you're going to want to minimize those mistakes as much as possible.
Absolutely. As we are crossing over 9 laps to go here at Pocono. Up here in the Pocono Mountains. Yes, I just said Pocono.
You nerd.
Pokemon? No, wait, what?
Yeah, you nerd. You nerd. You just got sued. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Lubers. He was 2.1 seconds back just a split second ago.
Yeah. Well, these guys are... Sam Lubers, he has to save 2 extra laps of fuel versus what Kensley Smith has to save. As you hear Andrew Teff hitting the clutch on the way down here.
I almost wonder if Smith made a little bit of a mistake in a corner there, because Luber is now back up to a 2.2 gap between him and Smith, but that gap closed in real quick. I almost for a second thought Luber's was going, but yeah, they're able to recover whatever may have happened, and now they're back up to a 2.2 split. So Smith currently has it in the bag here with 8 laps to go, but they're in fuel saving. And we already seen it with the number 21. Mistakes happen, no matter what kind of mistakes they are, either a missed brake point, too hard on throttle up, or shifting into gears that are forbidden.
Yeah. Definitely gotta be careful. You know, I want to point out Brandon Honeycutt. He started back in, what, 10th? Well, Mike, you're the one who has the buttons. I know.
I am looking. Honeycutt did start in 10th. You are correct.
Yeah.
So he's up 7 positions. And he's looking strong.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to remember, him and Andrew both had issues lap 1. And they went from the top 7, I believe it was, all the way down to like 13th. And that's where they were. Honeycutt coming down pit road.
Yep, not confident in his fuel level. You know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though, because some of the other drivers are going to be coming in here if they're not confident as well. The problem for Honeycutt, though, both Teffs, Lubers, and Smith, we've seen it time and time again. They are able to just reach over, hit a button, and load up a different fuel cell or something like that. These guys make ungodly decisions seem reasonable.
Yeah, definitely. As you see him coming out of the pits now just for a simple stop and go. Eric Dodd in the 87, he's down here on pit road as well. So now the question is going to be, what's the situation for our race leaders? Will Kensley and Lubers make it all the way? Well, I'm not going to ask Andrew because I know he'll find some way to make it work.
both Andrew and Alex stayed out an extra lap, so they're already at an advantage. Alex more than the others. He stayed out 2 extra laps. But yeah, I'm almost interested because if you look at the timing tower there, Smith and Lubers, they're now only 1.5 seconds apart from each other. When we last talked about it, they were 2.2. So someone is going or someone is holding.
Yeah.
Or they're both holding and one is just holding more than the other. But it's anybody's game at this point, because if you're not confident in making it, you're not going to be able to defend your position without compromising it even further. So now 1.8 seconds back, Lubers is. I don't know. This is... They keep me questioning myself every week, because what doesn't seem possible is possible for them. And 4 laps to go here, anything's possible. We could see an upset.
Yeah, it's definitely in the table cards today. And where is my...
I don't know, Mike, where is it?
I don't know.
3 laps to go here at the line. Kensley Smith, number 15, is our race leader with the number 16 of Sam Lubers in second, Andrew Teft in third, Alex Teft in fourth, and then Wayne Scott, Mr. Kirby Wayne Scott in 5th position. Wayne Scott's 20 seconds back, so he's kind of just riding it out right now. The closest competition to him is going to be the 777 of David Davis. He's 29 seconds off the leader, 9 seconds off of Wayne Scott. So not a lot of worry for Smith other than Lubers and both Tefts. But that's only if Smith runs out of fuel. If he doesn't run out of fuel, his biggest threat is going to be Sam Lubers. He's close enough to make you sweat, especially coming here around turn number 3 to take 2 to go. Now is the moment of truth. We're going to find out who is going to make it and who is not. Most likely contenders to make it are the Teft brothers. Everyone else, we'll find out.
Yeah, definitely has. Kensley has actually opened up that race gap just a little bit more here.
No, it's closing now. I think Lubers is going. He's just now a second behind Smith. I think Lubers is confident with the numbers. I think we're going to see a battle for the lead here on the final lap, unless Smith picks it up. If Smith picks it up, I think we're going to see it kind of play out the way it is, but you might not be confident yet. Smith may be trying to save just enough, as a white flag is out here at Pocono
for
the Racers Elite. Yep, they're going to make one final pass around this 2.5-mile unique track. Lubers now less than 1 second off of Kensley Smith. Kensley Smith coming out of turn number 1 with a head of steam. He's got a lap car in front of him. That's going to be the number 777 or the 711 of Fedig. Now is the moment of truth. Tunnel corner. This is where you can make it or break it. Really technical corner. You want to make sure you get down there to the yellow line the best you can. Throttle up at the right time. Oh, hard hit into the wall for Lubers, but that's not going to hold him back. He's still 0.6 seconds off. Into the final corner comes Kensley Smith and Lubers. Can Lubers do it? Doesn't look promising, but it just takes one mistake from Smith. Hard onto the throttle, coming down the straightaway. Checkered flag is waving. Looks like Kensley Smith's going to be our race winner today. Not enough fuel to make the pace or the victory lap, so he's going to pull off onto the inside line, and he's going to. Oh, Andrew trying to give him a congratulations. Oh man, must have gotten that missile detection system from someone else, because ooh, that was not a good aim.
Yeah, I don't understand how these guys do it. Sam Lubers, he will bring it home second. Andrew Teft will bring it home fourth. Alex, he's still going. but he'll bring it home fourth. Fifth will go to Kirby Winscott. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race results.
What an absolute beautiful showing by everybody. Just speaks to the testament of the level of skill and strategizing that these guys have. Just phenomenal work by that top five.
Yeah, absolutely. As a couple of these drivers are lipping their way towards the pits. There's my race button. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine out front led 59 laps total. Sam Lubers will come home second. Andrew Teft will come home third. Let's turn the alerts off. Fourth, it's going to be Alex Teft, followed by Kirby Wainscott, David Davis, Brandon Honeycutt, Aaron Ruff, Timothy Eisburn, rounding out your top 10, Robert Morris. Trevor Fetzig, he'll be coming home in 11th position today. Eric Dodd, 12th. Frank Chavez, 13th. Ryan Warp, 14th. 15th, 16th, and 17th is going to be Cody Benetti, Blake Weekend, Matt Metler. And that's going to round out your top 20. Your Hard Charger award will go to Alex Teft here today. He moved up 8 spots. Kensley Smith led the most laps with 59 laps. He had the fastest lap, which he actually took near the end of one of these fuel cycles, which actually very surprised me. And Ryan Warp, he will be your pole sitter. We ran a total of 120 laps here today, which is just a little bit over 300 miles. No cautions, which is actually very surprising here for Pocono in itself.
That's surprising for iRacing leagues in general. That these guys absolutely put on one showing.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go ahead and talk with our top 3. There he goes. Give me one moment here, guys. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and bring up your third place driver, Andrew Teft. Driver, that number 98 Racers Elite machine. Andrew, Mike and David up in the booth. Got a copy? Like, was him talking? All right, can we get a radio check now?
Audio test. We are being informed we had an issue. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
Now I can hear Mike.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yep, we are good. Yep, we are good. We are live. We apologize for that. I'll give a quick recap here for anyone who missed the interview. Seems like some channels were mixed up, but we interviewed the number 98 of Andrew Teff. He was very unhappy with the driver number 777, David Davis, for lap 1 contact. Beautiful save by Andrew. Shifted his race into just a pure fuel saving run, fuel strategy run rather. But he was able to make it work. He started P7, got involved, knocked down to P11, P12. But he came out third. Now, though, we do have the number 16 driver, Sam Lubers, who came in second place. Sam, I already know you have a copy. I appreciate you helping inform us of that technical difficulty. But Sam, what a absolute run by everybody out there, but you the most. I mean, you started P10. You were able to work your way up. How did you feel while you guys were doing your initial pace laps there? Because 120 laps of green flag racing at Pocono is just, it's tiring. I know it is.
Yeah, and I agree with Andrew. That first, when everybody was bunched up there in the beginning, was definitely the scariest part of the race. It's drafty. Everybody's got new tires, and everybody has a chance to go for it. And if they want to, they can send it. We were 3 wide right away. So the first lap or two was pretty scary. But then, like this group always does, no one wrecks, and you just get in a rhythm, and you're driving for a couple hours, you know. So after it fell single file, it became a rhythm race.
Yeah, absolutely. Rhythm and strategy. How confident were you towards the end there, after that last pit cycle, that you were going to be able to make it? Because we were kind of watching different drivers and their techniques. You know, so you've seen a variety of drivers shifting and some just not shifting there at the later run. How did you feel your chances were to be able to catch up to Kensley Smith while also saving the fuel that you had to save?
Yeah, I had no confidence in it at all. For the first several runs, I wanted it to be a just go as fast as you can, and I'll have a big enough gap that I can do a splash and go and get out of there. And it became clear that that just wasn't going to work. I was going to fall back to, it's basically, I think, what David Davis did, and ended up falling back to 5th or 6th. So that last run, I was full clutch in. I wasn't getting out of 5th for the whole lap, just trying to be to the green. And then I didn't have, I sputtered fuel at the end trying to catch Kinsley. So he did a great balance of saving and having enough to go at the end.
Absolutely. I mean, we were up here in the booth trying to question reality, because you guys just week in, week out make ungodly decisions seem reasonable. I personally would have been the one to pit. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do it. You guys have phenomenal racecraft control, and absolutely. Do you have anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anyone you want to thank, swear off, whatever you may want to do?
No, it's another great race, good group. It's super clean here. You guys do a good job, other than the occasional audio. But yeah, it's super fun. I'm hoping we've had several fuel races here in a row, just because again nobody wrecks. So I'm hoping we have a few just go as fast as you can races too here in the future.
Absolutely. I'm sure some of the tighter tracks where it's more likely to see some trouble here and there will have that. But a beautiful run by everybody involved. I mean, decent field turnout this week. Seems like things are getting back into the normal swing with the good size pack. So good to have you, Sam. Thank you for coming up here and talking with us in the booth post race. Wish you the best of luck next week, and good job. Congratulations.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely, my friend. That was Sam Lubers in the number 16 ride. We're going to now pull our race winner, Kensley Smith. Kensley Smith, this is David and Mike in the booth. You got a copy, my friend?
Dude.
Fantastic. Well, what a phenomenal race. I said it to the other interviewees. 120 laps here at Pocono is nothing to shake a fist at. That's 300 hard charging laps, even with fuel saving in the equation. Got to ask you, started P9. When everybody graded, you started your engines, you were rolling around. How did you feel the race was going to turn out?
For a little while, I was just gonna be like what Sam said, and just pedal to the floor, go as fast as I can. And then I realized, hey, this ain't gonna work because I ain't gonna have enough fuel. So I think it was towards the end of the second stint, I started saving a little bit and clutching a little bit in the corners. So I was still shifting a little bit, which was kind of hurting me too because I wasn't saving as much as I needed to. And then that second run, um, I just allowed everybody else to do what they were doing and just ran my line and was clutching most of the way. Uh, and then that last run, I stayed in fifth pretty much the whole time, unless I was trying to pass somebody. And didn't really have to clutch that last run because I was able to make it one extra lap than Sam did. So I knew I had more than Sam, and I knew I had more than David Davis. So I was just able to kind of just run my line and stay in fifth. And yeah, came home with the win. I sputtered there at the entrance of pit road on that last lap. So uh, just barely had enough.
Well, that was a beautiful job, fuel saving for sure. I'm going to back us up here to lap one, and turn two, the tunnel. You would have had the best view of it all out of everybody. What was your thoughts when you saw the three wide early on and then going into the tunnel, the contact, and the beautiful save by Andrew?
I mean, it was unnecessary. I looked back at the replay too, and it looked like there was a hole there. But the way that racing line is, like you should already know that that guy that is running a little bit higher is gonna try to come down to that yellow line because if he doesn't, he's not gonna make the turn. So, I mean, there just needs to be better anticipation of what's gonna go on and who's gonna do what. Just pick your spots wisely, and I don't think that was a good pick by David. But I mean, we all make mistakes, and I mean, we're here to race another day, and we're all here to get better. So I mean, hopefully he learns from it and doesn't make that decision again.
No, absolutely. Well, Kensley, I appreciate you. At the end of the race there, I know you said that you had sputtered. Um, what was your confidence level at 5 laps to go? Were you expecting to start sputtering that soon, or did you think you had enough saved that you were going to be able to kind of just ride it out and enjoy without extra scares of sputtering?
Looking at my fuel calculator, I saw it said 0.00. So I was like, yeah, glad I saved that extra lap before coming in on this last stop. But yeah, I mean, I had the confidence of at least making it to the finish. I knew at some point coming out of four that it was going to sputter. So um, I'm glad it waited until I was going straight to sputter because if it would have sputtered in the corner, it most likely would have jacked me loose or something. But yeah, I knew I wasn't going to have a victory lap at the end. So I tried to pull off as quick as I could and wait for guys to pass me and try to do at least one little rotation of a burnout, but it didn't work out. So
Low confidence, but a lot of skill. That's sometimes a good balance when you're out there trying to strategize. Because telling you, you guys make some ungodly decisions, and once again, you guys make it seem reasonable. Kensley Smith, do you have anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anyone you want to thank? Anything such as that? It is your floor.
of course, you guys in the booth as always. Gonna be a fun one to rewatch. There's a lot of stuff going on, and um, sucks that Cody wasn't able to be up there with me because I think he hit the wall and had to pit. But it was a fun race. Thank you to Andrew for putting this on for us. About 5 nights a week of racing and gives us a good place to race. And Thank you to him, and of course my wife and my daughter for allowing me to do this on a Sunday morning, taking some time away from them. And, thank you to them.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your race win here at Pocono. Always a fun track, a very unique track on the circuit. I wish you the best of luck next week, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So that was Kensley Smith, our race winner here today at Pocono Raceway for the Racers Elite iRacing League on Sundays. It's a fun time as always. These guys put on one heck of a show week in, week out. If you're interested in getting in on the action, racerselite.com is the place to be. You guys can check it out. They have multiple days of racing, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, with some Saturdays and Mondays mixed in there, here and there. If you're looking for a place with clean racing, a lot of strategy at play, this is the one place that you want to look. Mike Taylor, do you have anything else that you'd like to say, my friend, or should I send us off?
Go ahead and send us off.
You got it. I'm
I'm
going to
good
go
to
ahead
go.
and say, all right, for everyone out there, we appreciate each and every one of you guys watching and tuning in every week and every day that these wonderful performers go out there and drive their absolute wheels off. 120 laps under wraps, 300 miles at Pocono Raceway, all of them under green flag conditions with a little bit of a heart attack there at the start. Congratulations to Kensley Smith in the number 15, Sam Lubers in the number 16, and Andrew Teft in the number 98. Everyone else out there outside of the podium, congratulations to you guys for putting on one fantastic show. I'm David Forge with Mike Taylor here up in the booth. We appreciate each and every single one of you guys, and as Mike always says, do what you want to do in life. There's no promises. If it ain't fun, well, just make it fun. You guys take care, and we'll see you here at the next race.
Racing isn't easy.